Lastly, I wanted to remind you, I guess, that your proposals for your final projects are due at the end of week 4. So those will be due Sunday of week 4 at midnight. So you've got a couple weeks to work on them. These proposals will not be lengthy, but I do want some good thought put into them before you turn them in. I will flesh out the description in the syllabus and get that up this week so you can be understanding it. But basically, what I want from you is I want you to define your audience, define your learners. And I want you to define it as much as you can. How many? How old are they going to be? What are they going to be doing? Are these business executives? Are they all going to the same place? Are they all going to China, or are they going to different places? So you have to be culture general in your approach. And be realistic. Don't over-define who they are to a sense where, like, okay, there's no way I could guarantee that I only had a group of 20-year-old white U.S. American men, those sorts of things. I don't think you would ever get a group like that unless it just kind of fell out that way. But you'd never necessarily plan for that specific a group. So be realistic. Keep it focused on what you're most interested in taking away from the class. So again, I might have quite a few of you doing study abroad training modules for our final program. So describe who the student audience is that you're preparing this for and what they're doing. And again, some of you are interested in doing multicultural training, and that's fine. You can do that. Well, you know what? I kind of take that back. You can do trainings for multicultural audiences, but for your final assignment, you're going to need to do an intercultural training. So you will be needing to teach an intercultural concept. Not just, I'm going to teach a multicultural audience how to build a building or something like that. It's a bad example. But if you were going to do that interculturally, like let's look at culturally what different buildings look like, or let's go to a different country and build buildings, or do development process or development projects. You can do something like that. Anyway, so let me know if you have questions about how to define your audience. I'm happy to talk about that. I want you to take a stab at learning outcomes. So we're going to talk about writing learning outcomes appropriately later on. At this point, I'm not worried about it. Just what I want you to do is tell me what you want your learners to walk away knowing, or being able to do, or feeling. So those are kind of the 3 criteria. So what does a successful learner look like? Give me some sense of the scope of this thing. If you are designing a whole class, that's pretty broad, and we're gonna decide how you're going to complete the assignment. You can kind of give an overall shell and then walk me through one module of that. Or some of you might decide to do, I'm just going to do a half-day workshop or a full-day workshop with this group, and you can just design that module. So you have some choice on the scope, but I will be asking everyone in the final project to do the method. Or to share one module of their program, so that I'm getting the same level of detail from each of you. Lastly, I want to have some sense of your approach to this. I'm not talking about exact methods. I don't need to know what exercise you're going to do, when, or anything like that. But I do want to know how you're really going to go about designing this thing. Are you going to take a self-reflexive approach? Are you going to work with them on dialectics, where they walk away at the end of the day having a better sense of where they might fit in these spectra and expectations for a place they're going, what the dialectical, where that group will fall on a dialectical spectra. And also, is it culture general that you're teaching, or is it culture specific? Those sorts of things are what I'm looking for in the approach section of your proposal. So I will have a longer description of that up this week. So please take a look at that. I'm also happy to have, I'll place a discussion board somewhere where we can talk online about the projects. But I'm also happy if you want to brainstorm with me about what you're trying to do. I'm happy to set up phone calls. So just shoot me an email or try to call me out of the blue and see if my phone's on. But I'm happy to set up phone calls to kind of go through things with you. I know that that's one of the ways I think best is being able to brainstorm with someone else. And you're also welcome to reach out to each other and brainstorm with each other too. But if you have questions about the guidelines, I'm here and happy to have that conversation in whatever format's most comfortable. We could even Skype if you'd like. And that is it for week 3. I look forward to our discussion and seeing you all online, and I hope that you all have a wonderful week, and I hope the weather stays like this, even though I know it's not supposed to. Anyway, I'll see you online.